Thank you. Subcommittee on the Constitution, Civil Liberties, and Civil Rights is now in session. We will come to order. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare recess of this subcommittee at any time. I welcome everyone to today's hearing on the Equal Rights Amendment. I will first recognize myself for an opening statement. I'm pleased today to convene today's hearing on the Equal Rights Amendment for the purpose of carrying out one of this subcommittee's most important functions, the consideration of an amendment to the United States Constitution. The purpose of the ERA is simple but critical. It guarantees that women are treated equally under the law. The ERA was in fact approved by both the House and Senate nearly half a century ago. In 1971 and 1972, it passed with overwhelming margins. The Constitution instructs that after a proposed amendment receives the required 2/3 of the vote in each of the houses, it has to be ratified by 3/4 of the states. After the ERA was sent to the states in 72, it was ratified by 35 of the necessary 38 state legislatures. But for decades, that extraordinary progress toward equality stalled. A well-organized counter-movement scared the American people into thinking that a guarantee of equality would somehow harm women who stay at home to raise their children and would erode American families. What had started as a matter of broad consensus became another divisive issue in the culture wars. Today, we know better. We know that in the year 2019, it is unacceptable that women still are not paid equal wages for equal work. We know that when women are treated with equal dignity and respect in the workplace and the home, by our institutions of government and our society at large, all of the American people stand to benefit. And we know that a simple but fundamental guarantee of equality should be welcomed rather than feared. At the same time, it is more important than ever to affirm that women have an equal place under the law and under our nation's Constitution. Although women have achieved some measure of equal status under the 14th Amendment, that progress is fragile. As the Supreme Court has moved to the right, it could backtrack from fundamental decisions, as it has in other areas, and jeopardize the many strides that women have made. Meanwhile, there are dark currents in our politics and culture seeking to undermine women's status in our society, whether it's by threatening their health care, objectifying women in the workplace, or ignoring or even condoning gender-based violence. In the face of those challenges, I am heartened by the two panels and the extraordinary attendance we have here today. Your presence demonstrates that the march toward equality is alive and well. I'm also very pleased to recognize two outstanding members of the Congress, two of my colleagues, Congressman Cohen of the state of New York and Congresswoman Jackie Spear, who will be speaking today. Jackie is California. And they have introduced two different propositions to get the Equal Rights Amendment rolling again. Congressman Maloney has worked tirelessly as an advocate for the new ERA, and Congressman Spear has introduced a resolution, H.J. Res. 38, to guarantee that the 72 ERA is not subject to an arbitrary ratification deadline. Their extraordinary efforts have ensured that the important unfinished business of passing the Equal Rights Amendment is not forgotten, and I'm proud to be a co-sponsor of both measures. I'm also pleased that our chairman has championed this issue and has worked strongly to move it forward over the years and to have this hearing, and I thank Chairman Nadler for his efforts therein. We're joined by two stars of show business. Well, maybe more, but at least two that I know of, Ms. Patricia Arquette and Alicia Milano. We welcome their attendance here. Ms. Arquette will be on the panel. Ms. Milano, if you would rise and be recognized, I would appreciate it. Thank you. I think it's so appropriate that we have these two giants of the industry with us, because one of the best plays on Broadway today is a play that Heidi Schreck wrote called The Constitution and Me. It's a powerful play about the Constitution, penumbral rights, Justice Douglas, but emphasizing women, choice, and the ERA. So thank you, Ms. Schreck, and thank you for all of the industry that is working to see that we move forward on this issue. A few years ago, a great woman, a great person, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, was asked in an interview what amendment she would most like to see added to the United States Constitution. She answered it would be the Equal Rights Amendment. As she explained, the ERA means, quote, that women are people equal in stature before the law, unquote, and that, quote, that principle is in every constitution written since the Second World War. Justice Ginsburg said she would like her granddaughters, when they pick up the Constitution, to see that it is a basic principle of our society. I understand there's a possibility that Justice Ginsburg is watching today's hearing, and just to channel our president, Justice Ginsburg, if you're listening, get us the ERA. I look forward to that day and to the discussion among today's witnesses.